My next order of business for this site is to create a image with captions that is floated over here to the right that has all of the cell towers in it. So let's get started on that. And a secret that you'll need to know is to get this done, we're going to modify one of the float tutorials such that we put a division wrapped around all of these images with captions and we float it to the right. And it physically needs to go in the code before this text that says a cell site is a term used, blah, blah, blah. So all of this floated stuff will actually be inserted in the code before the beginning of this paragraph, and then you can float it to the right. So that's a little secret. Let's get into Dreamweaver and get started. But first, actually, we need to go out to the Select tutorial. I'm going to click on Float Tutorial. You can, if you don't remember where to find this tutorial, you can just go up to Google, and type in Select Tutorial, and you should be able to find it. And I'm going to scroll down to Floating an Image Thumbnail Gallery and look at all of these steps combined. So you should remember this. This is basically what we need to insert in our page. So here's our task. We are point and click and copy and paste monkeys now. I'm a monkey. I'm going to copy and come over to Dreamweaver and go into the code, up into the styles. And you know what? It's really not a bad idea to start using some of these skills we've learned, such as comments, thumbnail, gallery starts here. Okay. And copy that and paste it down here. And just change this word to ends here. Okay, so now I've got some commented CSS code. I'm going to go back here to my Select tutorial. Now I'm going to grab the HTML code that I need and just copy that. And let's go into Design View real quick. It's telling you it needs to go here physically before this A. Okay? And I'm going to get rid of this line of text, or 2 lines. I don't need that. Okay, so right there in the code, right there before that paragraph. Okay, I don't need that. So right there. Okay, it's just hanging out there. Let's see what happened. So there it is. All right, that's good. It's a good start. We're going to do one more thing. I'm going to highlight all of this code that I just pasted in, if I can. And I'm going to insert a division, a div tag around it. And I'm going to call it whatever you like. We'll just make something up. Div thumb wrapper. Okay, div thumb wrapper. Okay, so I just wrapped all that stuff with a division. And now, if I come up here, I'm going to add a new rule, div thumb wrapper. Again, these names are so totally arbitrary. You need to come up with your own names, or you can use mine. I really don't care. But, you know, make them your own. That'll help you understand it better. Okay, so div thumb wrapper. And what I want to do with this is float it to the right. In other words, float is kind of like saying force it to the right. And let's go look and see what happens. There it is. Okay, now again, Dreamweaver does not display this very well, and that's okay, Because what can we do next? Let's go into the code. Some other things, I'd probably add a margin left to make all the text on the left of this stuff keep away from it. And I would just say 1em, which is the height of one line of text. And look at what happens. It's pretty close to what we want. Okay, and then another thing is you go in here and you insert all of the images that you've downloaded. So, Tower 1. I'm just going to double click on this image, double click, and choose Tower 1 together. Double click on the second image and choose Tower 2. And as I move over it, I can get this little tooltip that says it's 100 by 150. And I think what I'm going to do to make my life easy is make them all 100 by 150. Okay, I'll come back and do that in just a minute. $100 by $150. Okay, and this last one, I'm just going to select that division and delete it. I don't want that one. Okay, and all the rest of these, again, just to make my life easy, I'm going to make 100 by 150. So look, I'm just clicking on this image, and this is not by any means the proper way to do this, but 100 by 150. We're changing this image's dimensions and skewing it a little bit, just for ease for this project. This isn't going to look good. Okay, now next thing, notice that my images no longer fit in my caption. So what can I do for that? Well, if you have your CSS styles panel up, you can see all the properties for something when you click on it. Okay, so there's my image, there's my division. And I'm just pointing this out. I want you to get used to seeing it. In the future, we're going to be using the CSS styles panel, so I want you to start looking at some of the properties here. These are the same properties in the code, but now it's displaying them for you in the while you're looking at the design view. All right, here's my thumbnail gallery code, and one of the things that I can do is change this. Since my images are all 100 wide by 150 tall, I need to increase the width. So I'm going to do, I don't know, let's try 104 pixels wide. And look, now all of a sudden you can see that these are fitted. I'm going to do them a little bit less. Here, I'll just do them at 100. Let's see what happens. 100. Actually, I think that looks quite nice, and I'm just going to leave it like that. And the next thing I want to do is, update all my captions. So I could go out here to the Wikipedia cell site and grab some of this text and copy it and come over here and edit, paste special, text only, and there it is. Now let me look at this in code view. Alright, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a span with a class. Alright, we're going to get to make a class real quick because I want to apply this style over and over and over. Right? So for this, what will we call this? Caption text. Okay, we'll call it caption text. So I'll just wrap it like that. Now let's go create what that should look like. So for my caption text, I'm going to do a class called caption text. Open and close my rule, and I'm now going to say text align center. I want my text centered underneath the images, and I want font families to be Arial or just some sans serif font. It could be Verdana, but I find that that's wider. And I want my font size to be substantially smaller than it is now. So I'm going to try 9 and see how that looks. Okay, and that's not bad at all. Not too bad at all. So let's go apply that class here. So I'm going to grab this caption and apply this caption text class by dropping it down here in the class box in the property inspector. This is a quick and easy way to apply your classes to all of this text. Pretty cool. Now, let's see what that did in the code. See where it says caption? Look, it just wrapped. When I applied a class, it wrapped the span class caption text around the words that were under the caption. So you can see that Dreamweaver is adding that code for you. Very nice. So we're getting more into the interface now. And we could have done all the work we just did through the CSS styles panel over here on the right, or in the CSS styles dialog box, or in the code. So you have 3 different ways really that you can effectively change your cascading style sheet code. Alright, so now we have the image captions, and I think we're looking good.